Hey guys, it's your girl Basia. I want to say a special thank you to all our subscribers and viewers and listeners. Oh my God, I can't believe that we are at the end of the silent season. Your support, your feedback, your loyalty has meant so much to us here at Basia TV. But I also want to tell you that I'm really excited that we are starting our new season, our yes season. Oh my God, that is going to be phenomenal. I know I'm so excited for you to hear this new season because I'll be dropping some gems for you. So thank you. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really, really appreciate your support. We are growing at a rapid rate and it's all because of you. So I'm so happy that you appreciate the material that my team and I put together. And I just wanted to share the end of our silent season, a very special episode to me with you. Please enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe and follow and like. And we want your comments. Cheers. It's your girl Basia. Always remember, your location determines your value. So be careful where you place yourself and who you place yourself with. Bye. I need to tell you something. This might make you uncomfortable because it made me uncomfortable to admit there was a version of me that had to die. Not because she was bad, but because she was exhausted. She loved too hard. She gave too freely. She said yes when her soul was screaming no. And if you've ever felt tired for no clear reason, if you've ever felt resentful but couldn't explain why, this episode might be for you. This is Basia TV Podcast with me, just Basia. Welcome to our next episode in our series entitled Silent Season. This episode is called The Version of Me That Had to Go. We'll be right back.
Media mogul and the legend agent to the biggest names in international cricket. This is Basia TV Podcast with Basia Powell. This episode is brought to you by 124 Not Out Sports Agency, the #1 agency for international cricketers in North America and the Caribbean. Welcome to the next level.
Let me ask you something. Are you the yes girl? Let me tell you something. For most of my life, I was a yes girl. Yes, I'll help. Yes, I'll show up. Yes, I'll fix it. Yes, I'll stay quiet. Yes, I'll sacrifice. I thought that being agreeable made me lovable. I thought that being needed meant I mattered. I thought that if everyone liked me, I would finally feel safe. But when I looked deeper, I really looked, deep down inside, I realized something painful. I didn't know what unconditional love felt like. When I reflect on it, I realize that a lot of my upbringing was performance-based. Love came with conditions. Approval came with results. If I wanted something as a child, I had to earn it. If I wanted recognition, I had to be exceptional. Get an A in school, a B+ was not enough. So I learned early that my worth was tied to achievement. My value was connected to output. And without realizing it, I developed an addiction. Performing for love. But at some point, performance becomes a prison. And as I got older, I started to feel it. The anxiety, the burnout, the quiet resentment. I was always there for everyone else, but I felt strangely alone. When I finally tried to change, when I started addressing my need to always say yes, something interesting happened. I realized that some people were grateful, some were kind, but some others became angry. They resented my generosity. They resented my kindness. They resented me. They called me a fixer, like caring was a flaw, like showing up was something to be ashamed of. I was putting out fires I didn't start, and somehow I became the problem. That's when I realized kindness without boundaries is self-betrayal. Yeah. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. You're watching Just Basia. Okay, guys, we're back. And if you've enjoyed what you have been watching and listening to so far, please give a like or leave a comment and click subscribe. Tell your friends. Don't forget to follow us so you can always be in the know for new inspiring content. And share this episode with a few of your friends. Let me tell you about my silent season. In my silent season, everything slowed down. No noise, no explanations, no oversharing. And in the quiet, the truth became impossible to ignore. Real talk. I could not be happy whilst constantly saving people who wouldn't save me. My tank was empty and I was still giving. But what hurt most was this realization. When I needed support, the people I poured into were unavailable. So that version of me, the rescuer, the overgiver, the performer, she had to die. Not out of bitterness, but out of survival. So I entered my silent season with a manifestation list. Yeah, but the thing that no one tells you is this. Manifestation without discipline, without commitment, is useless. Dreams don't come true because you write them down. No, they meet you when you show up consistently, when you show up for you. So I didn't just write what I wanted. I wrote what needed to change. And at the top of that list was this truth. The version of me that performed for love had to go. If I kept her, I would keep getting the same results. If I didn't cancel that old version of me, I would keep living the old life. And as I changed, my relationships changed. Yeah, my relationships changed as well. I stopped listening to words. I started watching actions. I realized that I had confused comfort with love. I stayed because it was familiar, because it was easy, because it didn't require confrontation. But the truth is, or I should say the truth was, very sobering. They didn't love me. No, I was useful. I was dependable. I was reliable. And I had no boundaries. The moment I stopped answering draining calls, the moment I stopped paying for debts I didn't create, their love expired because it was never truly love from the very beginning. It was access. And here's the part about boundaries that I had to own in this. We cannot be angry at people we never set boundaries with. So I am not mad at anyone. I'm mad at me, but I'm also grateful because even when my boundaries were invisible, my self-worth wasn't. Something in me knew this wasn't right, and that knowing forced me to pause. I learned that cleansing energy isn't enough. Sometimes you have to edit. Sometimes you have to use the scissors and cut. The version of me that put everyone else first had to be muted. Let's pay some bills. And when we come back, I'll share some more lessons for silencing the old version of you. We'll be right back.
This segment is brought to you by 124 Not Out Cricket Academy, based in Georgia and Florida, USA.
Welcome back, guys. We've been talking about boundaries and the versions of me that had to die. But before we go, let me leave you with a few things. Some of the lessons I learned when I decided to silence the old me. She had to go. Lesson number 1, the people who benefited the most from that version will be the angriest when she's gone, or I should say when you're gone. Saying yes to yourself means saying no to them, and that's okay. Lesson number 2, taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's sacred. It's self-care. Your mental and emotional health depend on it. Lesson number 3. This was a hard lesson for me to learn. People have short memories. If you always say yes, they will be deeply affected by the first time you say no to them. They won't remember your sacrifices, only your boundaries. Because the version of you that died was never loved for who she was, only for what she gave. So let her rest. The new version of you deserves peace, and she's finally living. So before I end this episode, I want to say this carefully. Listen up. Because endings like this require honesty, not drama. The version of me that died was not weak. She was generous, she was loving, and she was hopeful. But she was also tired. She believed that if she gave enough, stayed long enough, sacrificed deeply enough, love will finally feel secure. She thought being indispensable meant being valued. She confused exhaustion with loyalty and silence with peace. I had to let her go. Not because she failed me, but because she kept me stuck in rooms where I was only welcome for what I provided, never for who I was. I want you to understand something. Outgrowing people does not make you cruel. Choosing yourself doesn't make you selfish. And setting boundaries does not erase the good you once gave. It simply means you finally decided to live. There's a grief that comes with this kind of growth. You grieve. You grieve relationships that looked like love. You grieve the time you gave away. You grieve the version of yourself that taught survival required self-abandonment. But grief is not regret. It's confirmation that you cared. And if people become angry when you stop overgiving, if they punish you for resting, if they disappear when you no longer perform, that is not loss. That is clarity. You were never their person. You were their resource. So let me say this. If you in a season where the phone is quieter, the circle is smaller, and your spirit feels unfamiliar but lighter, you're not lonely. You're healing. This version of you speaks less, but sees more. She moves slower, but with intention. She no longer explains herself to people committed to misunderstanding her. She doesn't chase closure. She creates boundaries. She doesn't ask to be chosen. She chooses herself. And if this episode feels like it's speaking directly to you, let me leave you with this. You are not required to be who you were to be loved. You are allowed to evolve. Yeah. You are allowed to disappoint people who benefited from your silence. You are allowed to protect your peace without apology. Let the old version rest. She did her job. The new version, she's just getting started. You've been watching and listening to Just Basia, If you enjoyed this episode, tell your friends, share it with at least 3 of your friends. Thank you guys for watching. Always remember, your location determines your value. So be careful where you place yourself and who you place yourself with. Cheers. Bye.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated organizations or entities. The content shared is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, medical, or any other form of professional advice.